quite a bit to do today. Oh crap, I almost fell. Oh yeah, it's early. Guys, I went to sleep super late last night. I didn't go to sleep till like 4 in the morning. I was literally gonna stream like at 4:30, and I was gonna be like, "Yo, what's up, guys? Let's make some breakfast sandwiches at 4 in the morning before everybody's up." But I ended up falling asleep, and now I missed it. That's alright though. I'm glad if you guys are here now. You guys got to tune in. We're just gonna eat breakfast, man. Oh, I gotta go to the store later. There we are. We have quite a few videos we need to drop, so we need to drop the rest of the time attack from last night. Impreza Turbo series has been completed. Close. There we go. The Impreza Turbo series has been completed, and it's a little dark. There we go. Hello, Armando, Stephanie, hi there. And so we completed that time attack series yesterday, and we're gonna be restarting them soon. I think, let me see. Yeah, we're just gonna do it again. The Turbo series, restarts. We'll restart it in a few more days. So GT8 6 Turbo Impreza Turbo series. If anything, we'll bring back the Altezza again. And then... oh yeah, we're gonna be starting the new classic game soon. So I'm gonna be purchasing FNAF 4. And I'm also gonna be looking at getting AC4 and Borderlands 4 perhaps today or tomorrow. And for the end of April, we're just gonna go all in. So if we have to put Ghost Recon Breakpoint to the side and Minecraft, we'll put that to the side. That way we can do the DMC series 1 through 4. And we have other games that we could do 1 through 4, like FNAF 4, Splinter Cell 4. And so for today's stream, I started us off right here because we're gonna head over to the kitchen right now and just maybe make some eggs. I think I skipped breakfast the last couple of days, did I? I skipped breakfast yesterday and then I'm not sure about the day before. I think we just had sweetbread, so yeah. Cleared off the egg. And yeah, bacon and egg sandwiches. We have more bread, so that should be good. And then I just want to help out the community today, so if you guys are in the community and you guys may need some help, there's a good chance that I may help you out someday. And I'll see you all out there. I think I've run into some people who've recognized me. And yeah, I've had a few instances already. As you guys saw with yesterday in my community post, with the incident between the red Jeep Gladiator and yeah, we beat that car. On top of that, guys, I have a couple of unwritten stories from Cali Best Driver. We haven't started season 8 yet. I don't have a title. I don't have any series or anything lined up. So if anything, season 8 can remain untitled. Just call it season 8. But for starters already, we took down the Beamer boys. I'm just kidding. So I have to get the proper car. It was I think it was an M340i. One of not the newest ones, but maybe the generation before that or before that one. So I think it's like a few generations old BMW. And I think kind of like a 2010s. And yeah, these guys had like modified exhaust. You could hear their inline sixes or whatever. And I was just driving normally, man. You know, I'm avoiding all these conflicts and you know, I come off of this light and next thing you know, this BMW, you know, he does this thing where he tries to make his exhaust louder than mine, you know. He has a modified exhaust on the BMW. And then you know, as I was coming up to speed normally, you know, he stepped on the gas harder just so he could make his engine rev harder and make his exhaust louder. And so as I was driving normally, he was like, just holding it in gear, trying to get his exhaust, note. But then mine tunes in is like, on, and over his, like, the ringing, the tone of mine just completely drowned his out. And so then he tried to go faster. He was like, to just force it at that point. And no, that didn't work. That didn't work because I started torquing up on him, and and I passed him up right there on the side, and that's when he decided to get behind me and he started trying to tailgate. And so I started picking up the speed. I went from 45 to 55, and then he still stayed behind me. And then I was like, all right, and I brought it up to 65, and he was still kind of like maybe one car distance back. But that's when I took the initiative of being patient. So a light came up and it turned red. I stopped first. I was still like maybe a second ahead, but it wasn't enough for me to really say that I pulled away just yet. So I bided my time and I waited for um I waited for the proper moment. As soon as the light turned green, I pretended to drive normally, and right within the second of his power dropping out because his exhaust was so loud, he's like, and then he just like, and that's when I was already flooring. I already floored it before the power cut out. And so right when his car shift, my car launched. And so I'm like, and then boom, I gapped this guy. And then I caught him off guard because you hear him step on his gas, you hear his car downturn, like, but I was already too far away. I put too much distance on him before he could even react, and that was enough for me to pull away right there. And then I get to the next light, I get to my turn, and I stopped for like a few seconds. I'm already stopped as he's trying to make up the distance. You hear him going, and then when he gets once he gets closer to me, and then the light turns green. He tries to take off again, but he already lost. I was already sticking my hand out the window, giving him the peace sign. It was over already. And so that was like a silver M340i or something like that, some kind of modified one. I don't really know too much. I don't think it. I say M340i because that's probably the most. That was probably the correct model of BMW that I was looking at. It was smaller. It was a smaller size BMW, not like a Z4, but like a small BMW, not like the M5. All right. And so the next one was also another, I think, 340i. And it just happened out of nowhere yesterday too, like I said, I'm just driving normally. The pace is important to me, and I make a right turn as soon as the light turns green. And I take a good turn because there was this other car that was starting to tailgate me. It was like what was it? I can't remember. I think it was a Hyundai SUV, one of them EVs. And this guy was literally sticking onto my bumper going into the turn up until the moment where the turn actually came up. And I wanted to catch this guy off guard, so I did not brake. I didn't. I just like waited and waited until we were pretty much into the curve of the turn. You already see this guy. This guy lets off big time. This is me. Here's the turn coming through, and here's me. I don't brake. And then you see this guy. He lets off because he's like, "Whoa, what the heck? This guy didn't brake. He's crazy. He's gonna overcook it." And then boom, I flick the wheel. I hit the apex, and then I'm gone. And the next thing you see is you see the SUV that was trying to tell me he overcooks it. He was like, "What the heck?" And he was like, and he goes like, there's two lanes, and he has to go so wide. He goes into the opposite lane and has to correct and gets on the outside lane, while I stayed directly on the inside, and which caused my lane to be faster because I didn't lose any speed at all. And in that moment, I switch lanes and I get back on my proper lane because I was headed to the gas station. You hear this BMW come from behind that SUV, and and he gets right beside me, and then he revs his engine. Yeah, because you hear my engine when I'm taking off is like, it just has a very smooth sound. I don't like, my exhaust isn't modified; it's completely stock, and it just hums loud. That's just how it is. Sorry if it's louder than your guys' modified exhaust. I'm not sure what to do about it. Like, there's nothing wrong with the car or anything. There's no lights or anything. Everything is sealed tightly and perfectly. So I really cannot describe to you what makes it that much louder. You know, you guys are gonna have to ask Toyota about that one, because I've literally had a look under there and there is nothing. It's just straight pipe, a couple of mufflers, and a couple of cats, and that's it. Not even any resonators, bro. No resonators. Like, I'm talking about the little reflective plates that go around the exhaust. And so yeah. Or I mean, I think it does have those. Excuse me, I might be incorrect on that. But it has everything. Everything is there from stock. It's even like, it's got some. I think it's got some dampening sound dampeners in there. Anyways, besides the point, the M340i gets beside me. He tries to rev his exhaust in the same way that the silver one did, and he starts trying to like pull away. He was behind me by like a good distance, and he accelerated just so he could pass me, right? And he stayed like that. I was like, all right, man, this guy wants to do a flyby. Let's catch him. Let's catch him right at the stop. And so, here comes the stop. I'm torquing up on this BMW because those things don't have that much power, even when modified. And boom, right, I catch him right at his braking point. He literally starts braking, and my car, boom, I brake ahead of him. I literally brake ahead of him. You see my car pull forward of his, in front of his, and then he literally tries to like, he tries to correct. He downshifts, and it was all rough for him. And I kept my car in forward, so we literally entered a braking battle. Because as soon as he saw me pull side by side with him like that, he started trying to keep going, but his car was about to bog out, and so he downshifted again, and that caused his car to jerk forward and his brakes to lock up. And so in that moment, here's the limit line or the stop bar, and and then he jerks forward a little bit, but I gradually ease in front of him, and then I decapitate him. I cut him off at the helm. And he was just literally staring in disbelief because he got outbraked crazy. He got like literally startled. He did not expect that. He messed up and he overbraked. My car was forward, and then on top of that I stopped, and he didn't even stop. Literally right when he almost bogged out, he almost comes to a dead stop, but it was behind my car like that before the line. because he couldn't keep it going any forward, and then he lets off of the brakes before he completely comes to a stop and tries to take off again. And so, I torque up on him again, bro. It was just too funny because he was just like, it was just super funny. He was really trying to get away, and it was just super unsuccessful because of how much of a difference there was in vehicles. And he overpressured again, but I literally went the other way to make a left turn from my gas station, and he overpressured, bro. He almost stops in the middle of the street. He goes past the stop bar, past the limit line of the crosswalk, and he's literally like almost halfway into the street, stopped, checking to see for the cars coming across traffic, but he overcooked it so bad. It was a really bad DQ. And yeah, I think he kind of got a little bit shook because there was a huge difference in skill, and after that he didn't drive like that anymore. He was literally driving slow after that. You just see him go like, he was just trying to drive normally after that because he got beat twice. And it was just funny because the second time, I wasn't even really trying to chase him. I was just trying to get to the gas station because I already beat this guy. Amazing stories. Yes, I know. I have another couple of other stories like, I can't remember. I think it was like a Ram or something. One of them new trucks was trying to follow me on the back roads, and like he kept trying to tailgate me because I would be coming up to speed, and I would get up to like 45, right? And I wasn't going like too fast. I was just kind of like letting the car drive itself, and yeah, once I got up to speed, this guy was still sticking right behind me, and I'm like, all right, dude, come on. And I literally, it's too easy for me, bro, because this guy's just more focused on trying to stay glued to my bumper. He forgets about the road. And so I do a couple of maneuvers, and so I'm like, and then my car literally pulls away like one car, and then he tries to accelerate, but then that's when I start pacing. Every time he gets closer, I inch further away. And then up came this turn. I put on my turn signals, and I act like I'm about to make a regular turn. And then, right as he's about one car ahead, he gets right behind me. But then I'm like, boom, like that, and then I fly through the turn, and the next thing you see, I fly through the turn, and then the truck's like, he's like, oh crap, and he's like trying to stop, and then he makes the turn all wide and all slow, and he's like, oh, and he almost goes into the curb. And then boom, right there in that moment when I turned and he messed up, there was the gap. I gapped this guy so hard that he literally let off. He almost crashed himself. And so he was like, you know what, I'm done. This guy took me out. Because I literally did, bro. Just within that one turn, I built like a 2 bus lead. Think about it, 2 bus lengths of a lead in one turn. And so he was done after that. He didn't try to get back up right behind me anymore. He didn't do any of that. And it was just over. I literally stuck my hand out the window. Peace. It was over. Like I said, I'm retired. I don't race, guys. I don't do anything like that, guys. If you guys try doing that stuff to me on the road, or want to say you claimed a victory against me, everyone knows it's gonna be invalid because I don't race anymore. I don't race at all. Didn't ever race. Like I said, I'm always out there just helping the community, and it's always people that want to race or got something in their mind about racing, and just not me. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in it. And I got other things I do with my time. I don't race, IRL or anything like that. I just play the video games that I like. I like racing games too. And that's about it. That's why I don't really care about other drivers or anything like that. I don't care about their skill or the type of car they have. Or, it's a big world out there. I've seen so many people trying to run away. And, they always got caught up. But from me just driving normally, like, this happened yesterday. I had so many people try to run away from me on the freeway. Like, it was so weird. I make a lane switch, and then I'm like behind another car, and then you just see this car just kind of just start taking off. Like this guy starts hitting like close to like 85, 90 just to pull away, and I'm like, okay, I just hopped in the passing lane because I'm not gonna lane count. So I like hop in the passing lane. I passed the car I wanted to pass, and I still kept my same speed. And then while all of that, like, did literally that car that went all the way forward like that, literally ran into traffic, and I caught up to them and passed them on the side, bro. It happened multiple times too. And then there's this other, I think it was a Honda, man. It was like an 8th or 9th gen Civic. And then this guy started to tailgate me too. And so I was like, you know what, man, I'm really getting sick of it. I'm really getting sick of it. So I do a couple maneuvers, and then I'm like, I hit the zone, and I literally get like, I build the distance, right? And then this guy starts trying to close the distance again on me. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I had enough. Literally had enough. As soon as he like got behind me and let off, that's when I punched it. I literally punched it as soon as he did that. And I was like, and then I put like 2 bus lengths on this guy or more. And then he started trying to pick up the speed. He started trying to keep up with me. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna cut up. I'm not cutting up here, man. I didn't even look at the speedometer, man. I just kept going. I kept going and going. I was using the entirety of the freeway. And then when I finally looked down, I was pretty close to like 100 miles per hour, if not more. And yeah, I pretty much left them all behind. He stopped chasing me. He couldn't do what I did. I was literally going like all across the freeway, guys. Like even a highway patrol officer came up right behind me, but he didn't do anything. He was just, I saw that, man. He's like, yeah, respect. And so yeah, the highway patrol, no, he didn't do anything because he saw the guy. He saw the guy that was trying to chase me down. I was just trying to protect myself on the road. I don't know what these people are trying to do to me, whether they're trying to crash me or kill me or something. Like, I don't know none of these people, man. so, so yeah, he didn't do nothing, he just let me go. But, man, I had some other crazy incidences, man. I was literally, incidents, sorry. I meant to say instances. Um, like, dude, there was like a whole fleet of cops that I had to pull over. I moved to the right, and I got passed by like 10 cops flying down the road. I was like, oh crap, they're after somebody. And then I see more, and I stayed to the right. But there was this one that moved to the right lane, and I guess he just wanted me to pull all the way over to the side of the road because he got right behind me, bro. I was like, oh heck no, I'm not gonna pull over right now. And I tried to move more to the side a little bit, but it wasn't enough. And I finally saw a little opening, and I moved it all the way to the side, and this guy flew right by me with his squadron. I think that was the SWAT team, bro. These guys pulled up not in regular cop cars, man. And they were gone. I was like, oh crap, dude. Like, he just wanted me to fully get out of the way. I got scared right there for a sec because I left room. Like, the entire left lane was open. It was dead in the middle of the night. All they had to do was just go around me. But nah, this guy basically not ran me off the road, but I got off the road just so he could pass me. I didn't want to be in violation or hold this guy back, regardless of whether he had to jump in the lane or not. Like if he jumps in my lane and his lights are still on, I'm moving the heck out of the way. So all right, that was it, guys. Season 8, Cali Best Driver. I don't have any specific title or heading for the name of the season. It's just season 8. But I haven't written anything yet. And yeah, you know what? I haven't mentioned this either, but I just have a couple of um other stories. Like these don't really pertain to racing, but so I've really tried to take good care of my car and everything, but it's impossible when there's just so many bad drivers out there in the world, and you just can't expect anything out of anyone anymore. And so my car has taken a couple of hits recently, um on the rear bumper. But luckily for me, they're only scuffs and scratches, so barely knock off the clear coat and the paint, a little bit of the paint. But that's about it. They're just little scuffs. The bumper is completely fine, 100% in shape. And yeah, the first one was on my rear left bumper, where here at my house, I was creating space for my family to park, and so I parked all the way on the right side of the driveway. So let's imagine this is the driveway, this is the wall, and I parked as close as I possibly could to the wall. This is me. This is the garage. And so, we had a relative, and this is my car, this is their car, and they were leaving in the morning, and they had all this space on the driveway to back up and go out. But I guess they weren't paying attention. They went back all the way to the other side of the driveway, which was so crazy to me. And boom, scraped right along the side of it, of the rear bumper. And so now it's got a scuff there, and I was mad at first, but you know what? I don't really care. I don't, because if I'm just gonna be mad about it and worry about it, who cares? Really, I'm not the bad driver here. It wasn't my fault, and it's fixable, dude. I could easily repaint the whole car in its original Mika red with acrylic flake, and and the other instance was I was helping out the community, and I was behind some other cars, and we all approached this intersection at a school. So there's a stop sign, and the two cars ahead of me, they did half stops. They didn't really stop, but I was gonna do a full stop. So there was a car that was about 2 bus lengths or more behind me, because they entered the road later than I did, and I stop, and I wait a second, I look around, and right as I'm going, this person, boom, hits me from behind, and literally right as I'm coming out of the stop sign, I'm coming this way, and the next thing you know, I don't even know how this guy messed it up because he had that much space to stop and brake, but I guess he didn't. He was like, boom, and my car went forward a little bit, and yeah, insurance already dealt with this guy. This guy got fined heavily for committing a hit and run. This guy tried to run away, but we ended up getting him caught, and he did end up having to pay way more fines rather than just talk. If he would have just pulled over, I would have literally hopped out, just been like, "Yo, you good?" Be like, "Yo, that felt rough, but I know nothing happened. I literally looked at the back. There's nothing happened to the car. It's just this guy's like literally. I think this guy's car took more of the hit than I did, because you just see like a whole bunch of their paint, like white. Like I think it wasn't white. It was like a silver Camaro, and you guys see this guy's silver Camaro paint on my, rear bumper right there. But nothing happened. It barely scuffed the paint. It didn't even like rip off the clear coat, I think. So you know what? I don't really care, and the car runs better. I can't lie. After they bumped it and all of this and that, the car's been running great. It's like I don't know what that did, but the car's running like a dream. And so I don't know what that did, but man, the car runs great. And that's it. Season 8 so far, man. Nothing. Episode 1, basically. Let's rip a bowl and let me take you guys to the kitchen now. Happy Thursday. I'm gonna go change this water out. I'll be right back. Puppies. Nice here. Puppies. Hey, Luna. Luna came to visit me, guys. Hey, baby girl. Okay. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, not everyone might understand, but I guess that's part of the reason why I don't race, because I don't like, because in racing, there's always, you know, people that race to win, you know, like I said, it's like, if you race that way, then there's always gonna be a loser. And if that person ends up being you, you can't be like mad or angry. Like all these people that lose their cool once they lose. It's not the end of the world, bro. Go drive some more, go have some more fun. Like, I don't care about driving enough that much. Like, so many people have literally done this to just try to be better than me, try to be like me, or anything. I don't know. I don't mind. I don't really care, do it at your own risk. I'm just here, just to enjoy. I'm just enjoying what I do. I'm not doing it to be better than anybody or like because when I started driving, like I said, I don't even know about cars. I just I just liked them. I didn't care about specs, dude. Who cares about specs? Seriously. Who cares about specs when we're all driving on the same road? The only specs I care about are miles per gallon and no, I think that's pretty much it. It's miles per gallon, dude. Like if we could get I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Because we see people with their V8s now, bro, still not getting 10 miles to the gallon. Oh, that hurts, bro. You know how much that hurts, guys? Like, you guys are insane, bro. You guys are paying $6 to almost $7 for a gallon of gas to fill up your V8. And you're only pushing it for 10 miles to the gallon, bro. Flex your fuel, guys. Those things are easily capable of 20 plus mpg. Easily. Not easily. I mean, you could flex fuel in those cars, and yet people don't do it, man. Like, the 10 miles per gallon era ended in like the 2000s, bro. Like, literally, that was a thing of the past. That's the whole reason they invented the 4.6 and the 5.0 for economic purposes, bro. Like the 2 valve will go farther than any 4 valve. No joke. The 4 valve will run out of gas faster. And the 2 valve will take you farther. That's for sure. Flex your fuel correctly. No joke. Even the 3 valve, man. I actually kind of like the ingenuity they did there. Because they're like, all right, let's reduce it. And then let's cut it up a little bit, but not as much as like the standard. And what they did with the 3 valve, I mean, it's like best of both worlds. You get faster response on a 2 valve, and you get almost the same amount of response as the 4. It's best of both worlds, really. And you get to flex fuel too. Like seriously, I remember I used to be pushing the 4.6 when I had a Mustang, and I used to be getting over 20 miles to the gallon, bro. Over 20 in a V8. In a V8, man. So yeah, I enjoy my car now too, because it does kind of get like it gets decent mileage if I don't put the pedal to the metal. I think I get a good like 26 to 30 miles per gallon off of one puppy. Hmm. All right. But yeah, I mean, dang, bro. But I mean, it is because they have such such huge displacement. I mean, imagine anything over a 5.0 is insane. Because once they hit 60, they're for sure almost eating a liter, or eating those 5 liters per minute. Nah, but all right, enough talking about flex fueling. Yeah, that's like the old days, man. Seriously, like back in the day, that's when you had like your 300 to 400 horsepower, Firebirds, Thunderbirds, your Trans Am, your Mustangs, your IROCs. I mean, it was all over the place. You had your classic trucks. But hey, man, they worked though. They worked because they did what they were supposed to. I mean, there was you could load the thing to the max, right? Like, let's say you have a truck and you load it, to full weight capacity. It'll still get the same amount of fuel mileage because out of its towing capacity, because that's how it was designed. That's really cool stuff. But I know in some cases that if you do load a lot of weight, it can actually cost you fuel mileage too. But some cars are that powerful. For example, you could have a work truck that can yank tons and does it no problem with the same amount of fuel mileage. That's a good rip. um, but yeah, everything's just been kind of like weird. I think that's what's kind of messed up the whole market. Everyone is obsessed with like power or being the best, and man, it's just not. That's what makes the cars not come out good anymore. I really appreciate the ingenuity, right? I think that's the right word, or the innovation that they really have been doing at GR. Because if you really think about it, I mean, they were pulling flex fuel numbers out of a 3-cylinder, man. That's really good stuff, dude. And they're pulling decent numbers. And their whole hybrid systems and all of this and that they've created. But, um, I don't know. I've been thinking, guys, maybe someday in the future I'll probably buy an electric car too. Not because, like I'd like to own one, but I'm not sure, just maybe to see how it tracks. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, everyone's saying that gas cars aren't really as good anymore, but I just I don't know. It's a weird statement to make. I just feel like they can both exist. What's wrong with having both? Right? I know EVs though for sure require a lot more probably a lot more maintenance because I mean, you're literally just running a huge battery into some axles and those things spin like a power tool. So when those things break and you got to replace those, I mean, who knows how much they charge for that? I actually have no idea, but um, yeah, you know, EV transmissions and stuff or whatever. Whether they just have a stop and go, you know, the way those things work, and then I'm not sure, cause like I said, cause when those break, then I don't know, like those it could cost a lot more than it's worth, you know. But I'm not sure. I'm not a car expert like that. I don't I actually haven't ever really researched that before, but I'm pretty sure it is something similar to what I'm saying. And yeah, because I can imagine like if you snap an axle on an EV, I mean you gotta probably replace the whole thing, no? Hmm. And reconnect it to the battery, or I don't know how those work. Whether they use like CV joints or something like that. And so I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing for a regular car, but nowadays, I mean, the thing I like about like you could find more classic cars and fix those up because there's the parts are widely available still. You know, I think it's harder because a lot of cars get junked and a lot of like good old cars um, don't really exist anymore. That's kind of really the saddest part. And you know, it sucks because a lot of them do get scrapped. You know, a lot of cars get totaled, man. And so, nah, you know, drive what you like, guys. Love it. I love all cars, man. All the same. I don't, I don't like, I don't do this or I don't do that. You know, I don't do that no more. No, I view everybody the same, and anyone, you know, anything that people do is what they do to either bring themselves up or down. So, you know, all of that has nothing to do with me, whether I'm better or not. And you know, the way I view myself is um, you know, I don't like to claim I'm the best, but statistically, I stand somewhere around like top 10K in the world for a lot of games. And so I'm not bragging about it. It's a big world because that number is obviously not realistic. But I'm sure, like, out of, like, you know, the millions of players, um, I could say, you know, I play really good. I think others might agree. Though I'm not that good. Not the best. Alright, guys, enough yapping. I'm going to leave this on. Thank you, guys. Let's go to the kitchen now. Yeah, I drive what y'all like. I don't really judge people's cars or people in general or anything. I don't really care. I mean, dude, I used to walk. I used to have to skateboard wherever I had to go, man. I used to have to take the bus. No, I'm thankful I get to drive. I won't ever see it like as like an obligation to go out there and like race people. Like, you know, y'all want to see me race? Put me in a race then. But other than that, nah. I just do my own thing. Chloe outside? Yeah, you know, I just feel like I just didn't ever see driving that way. A lot of people get pushed into racing, and it's just kind of one way to overpressure yourself for no reason. Anyways, nice. That was my back. Yeah, a lot of people do get pushed into racing. But like, I don't drive for that reason. You know, the way I was taught about driving was that it's like, um, that's something you earn, man. You want to drive, you gotta earn it. Literally gotta take the time to study, learn how to drive, practice it, and then not crash, first of all. Then take the tests and all of that, get your license. And on top of that, you know, and most people do this before they even have their own first car, right? So imagine that. Then, you know, if you don't get like gifted a car or anything, you know, then, and if you're working hard, you buy your own car, then you gotta pay for the car, right? And then you gotta start. You gotta do all the things to get it like registered in your name, and get some insurance on it just in case something happens. And then, yeah, you know. I just feel like people don't respect that anymore. I mean, I still do. Oh, sorry. Wrong angle. Here we are. I think that makes sense, though. Yeah, like a lot of people are like super excited to get on the road already, and you know, I feel like that leads to a lot of impatience. So, no more need be said. I just feel like everything else speaks for itself. I could describe to you, you know, all the things I see on the road. I've definitely seen some good drivers, like the guys that were trying to run away from me yesterday that I caught up to and still passed them. You know, they were good though. Like they're literally, what do you call it? Like I was like, yep. If I would have started to take off, that's what I would have done too. Basically, these guys were good, man. I think they just got scared or startled. I don't know. I just don't ever get it why people get all riled up when they see me or driving or something. It just didn't never make sense to me. Like I'm just a normal driver like everyone else. Oh yeah. Good coffee today. Yeah. That's why he probably ran away. I don't know. I don't even like really mean to do all of that. I really don't go out there and do that, guys. I just don't know why people get so intimidated or anything like that. But he was decent though. They were decent. Like, and I ran into a couple of drivers like that actually. Not in a different area when I was helping the community later on that night. I ran into another driver like that. But he slowly realized that I wasn't even chasing him. Like he just was like he realized that he kind of got all riled up and he let off. I don't know. I think my puppies locked themselves in the room. I like how you walk on that. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so once that other car realized I wasn't chasing him and like he kind of let off and I caught up to him, I mean, I just pretty much stayed 2 car distance and we drove like that's usually what happens. Like most people don't get the gist, but I really don't drive like that, guys. I really don't. Like they don't take the hint. Sure, like I don't know, I don't think I'm that good. Like I'm like mediocre at best. You know? No, I suck. I'm not even mediocre, I just suck. And yeah, most of the time it always ends up like, people trying to run away or they overpressure themselves. But I feel like one of the saving graces is if everyone just kind of like, um, I don't know, man. It's always been like that. There's always been the ones that knew, like drivers that know where you could be side by side and like there could be tension, but there isn't. You just know there's like, nah, this guy's good, and he knows that I'm good too, or whatever. But we don't got to show it. We're just here on the road. We'd be side by side and just let our cars drive themselves. I like to let off a little bit, let another car pass, and sometimes I'll do the same. Just let each other pass, let it all go. It's a good way to drive, good way to keep the pace. Nobody loses. It's a good. I almost said a bad word. It's a good flipping day. You know. gets ready. Let's flip this. Nice. Oh, that was hot. That's gonna be good. My stomach started grumbling. Let's let that sit for a minute. It has enough heat to fry it. Yeah, maybe one day we'll pick up a steak or something and we'll eat it on stream if you guys are down. Try to make a steak. Something simple. Maybe get some A1 sauce. That way you guys are like, dang, so Colin does actually know how to cook. He just he doesn't just make eggs and bacon. But I can't lie though, this always hits, man. You can't go wrong with this. And if you tell me different, well, alright then, that's fine. I just think this always hits, man. Like, because in comparison, going to Jack in the Box and ordering something that has anything close to this, like egg and bacon, like 2 slices of toast with cheese in it. I mean, it's gonna cost you like $7, $10. What are you guys doing? It's all good. Nice. Sure, to throw down. Just let that rest.
like I could use half a slice. Why not? Let's see.
Put in there. Yeah. Turn that down. Ooh. Classic wooden plate. Burn me. Just a little bit. That's a lot of money. Pretty sure that cooked all the way through. It's slightly runny, but start there. Why not? That's perfect. Oh yeah, this is 12 grain, by the way. This isn't like wheat bread or anything. Mm.
This isn't imperfect. So that should be really good. I almost forgot about that.
guys like, I made this like super huge cup of coffee right here. That's huge. Oh yeah. He did all the farming for us. birdies. They won't lose. They sell birdies. You see, look, I sell birdies. Look, look. I'm gonna turn around. Oh, almost messed that up. All right. He had the aura form. He was like, yeah, I wish I had a me when I was younger. Oh, wait, I did. It was me. Let that cook up for a minute or two. Oh. There we go. Mav, what's up, dude? I'm just eating some breakfast. Whoa. Oh, you see it cooking up right there? That's pretty cool. That's how you know I flipped it perfectly. Because it actually fully enclosed itself. So now it's cooking perfectly on the inside. Yeah, we're gonna switch over to an exclusive today. We're gonna be doing a classic games focus, working on the channel, and we're gonna play some multiplayer games today. I hope I plan to buy FNAF 4, and maybe we'll play it today or tomorrow or tonight. Friday night. How about that on Friday tomorrow? And yeah, see who stays up with me for the scares. It's definitely gonna be scary, and then we'll play Fortnite. I'm guessing the whole foundation thing ended already, but the season hasn't. So you could still collect all the rewards for this season. You gonna go outside, Chloe? My birds. The birds.
I still got lots of coffee, dude.
You saw the birdies? Place. here. This little mess of ketchup and hot sauce, but so I can eat it. Just throw some more hot sauce on there. Start right there. A little bit of roundness. I'll start from the bacon. Start from the corner. Mm.
So, a lot of people, especially when they're starting out, think that there's one way to do it. Seems obvious. Well, look at them. That's not the last review. World bitters up there.
Some good bacon. Oh. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna switch this over to an exclusive right now. I'll see you guys there, okay? Thank you guys.